Many LeanData users use the duplicate matching and merging functionality in their LeanData graphs. That's what we have going on here in this graph. We have new leads entering the graph, then looking for duplicates with a match node, and then going ahead and auto-merging with the duplicates if there is one. However, what if you wanted to add some possibility for the existing record owner to manually intervene? Perhaps they've identified that it isn't a proper match, or perhaps it's the right match, but they just want to ensure that some specific fields or values are preserved in the merge. So what we want to do is introduce some way of intervening or overriding the auto merge, somewhere between identifying the duplicate and the act of auto merging. Here's how we do that. After we identify that there is a duplicate from our action node bar, we'll go to route, and then we'll go to duplicate lead so that we can assign the incoming lead to the owner of the existing duplicate. After that, it might be helpful to actually stamp and identify the duplicate on that record. To do that, we would first need a lookup field on the lead object that is meant for capturing the duplicate. So jumping over to Salesforce Object Manager, I'm looking at my lead fields, and I've created a lookup field here, and I've named it duplicate lead. This field is where we'll capture the duplicate. Jumping back to the graph, we'll go to the action node bar once more, and this time we'll use an update record node. And we'll send leads from this duplicate assignment node to the update record node. Now, opening the update record node, we'll look for that field for the duplicate lead. And then the value that we want to enter, we'll take the ID of the duplicate lead that we had found in the prior matched node. So we'll go to variables, matched lead, ID, and then insert. Now please note, you don't technically have to do this step, but if you're going to allow your users to manually intervene, you might as well make it as useful for them as possible by capturing the found duplicates and giving that to them. Now, before we forget, we'll rename this node stamp existing duplicate ID and notify. And while we're here, let's make sure that we open up the next node edge since this won't be the last step. Next, we do need to notify the recipient that they have a duplicate and that they have the opportunity to stop or interrupt the auto merge if they choose to do so. So let's include the notification within this update record node. So we'll go down here and select success notification. For our recipients, we want the new owner. Now for our message, you can use an email template if you'd like, but for our purposes, I'm going to use the compose email option. Now the subject will be, you received a duplicate. And the message will be, you just received a lead. Then we will insert the full name of that routed lead using variables here that LeanData has identified as a duplicate of a lead you already own. And then here we can insert the full name of the duplicate or the match lead that we found. And continuing our message, let's just say LeanData will merge these leads in 2 working hours. Okay, and one more sentence here. If you would like to prevent or override this merge, please check the Override LeanData Merge checkbox on the new lead. And then we can just drop in the routed lead's ID here within 2 hours. Okay, Once we've finished our message here, we need that field that the rep can use to override the merge, the one we just named in the message. So jumping back over to Salesforce's Lead Object Manager, you can see here I've created a checkbox field called Override LeanData Merge. And the intention is that when the rep checks this box, LeanData will not proceed with the auto merge. So jumping back to our graph, we need to pull in a hold until node. And opening this node, we'll name it 2 hours to override merge. Then we want to add an expiration time of 2 hours. Then we will ensure that time only elapses when the user is working. And then if that time expires, we will have that proceed into the auto merging node. Okay. We're not done yet, so going back into the hold until node, we still need to add a condition. We'll need to add a trigger rule on the routed lead. We'll look at that override field that we had created earlier, equals, and the value that we're looking for is true. Now, if this happens, we want end of flow because we actually want to stop processing if someone chooses to override the merge. Okay, that looks good. We'll just connect our stamp duplicate and notify node with this hold until node, and then we should be good. So, all right, let's recap. When a lead comes in, LeanData will look for duplicates, and if we find one, we will route the new lead to the owner of the existing duplicate, and then we will populate the duplicate we found in a lookup field and also notify the recipient that they have a duplicate lead and that LeanData will merge them unless they choose to step in and override within 2 working hours. If they check the override box within that 2 hours, the flow will end, and then they can do whatever they would like with the duplicates, including if they want to manually merge them on their own. If they do not check the override box within 2 hours, LeanData will proceed with auto merging the records. As an additional pro tip, if your organization uses Slack and you have access to LeanData's Notify Plus functionality, you can actually notify the recipient of the duplicate via Slack and then include an action button that you can use to overwrite the merge directly from that Slack notification. So I hope that helps.